Welcome everybody to the start of Zenith Online Racing Tier 3. We are live from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium today for our very first race of the series. I'm joined today by Bobby Tava, who will be alongside me in the commentary booth for tonight's race. A lot of unknowns going into tonight's race, but also some familiar faces here, so we're expecting to see quite a lot of fireworks tonight, one of the most famous circuits around.
Yeah, I'm super excited to actually see. There's a lot of new names that I'll never seen race, so I'm pretty excited to see what's the pace going to look like around this historic track.
Yep, just waiting for the first drivers to get set on their qualifying laps. Just double check, make sure the audio is good for everybody. Looks like, according to Hayden, we're going to have a dry qualifying and then a wet start followed by a dry finish to this race. So that's going to already shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, some spicy stuff in Tier 3 debut right now. Some spicy stuff.
Yep, that's gonna shake up the strategy, definitely. I mean, we're expecting qualifying, everybody should be out setting their fastest times on the softs, and then a lot of it's going to come down to how well these drivers can manage themselves in the rain to start the race. Looks apparently it's only going to be a few minutes, but that will still make things interesting.
And we never know if, I guess we're going to see how it might be like in Tier 2 was in Australia, that it was rain condition, but like for such a short amount of time that we all start in dry compound.
And that's another thing to worry about here, as we've got quite a few drivers out on their opening hot laps to fire up this year. On board with the Haas of Nicholas Weck, who's coming through the start of Sector 3 now. We're going to ride alongside for the first ever qualifying lap.
Yeah, so Nicholas is one of those new faces. Do not have a clue what to expect from him, so let's see what he does on this first lap.
Why don't you take us through a lap of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit here, Bobby?
Alright, so we go to La Source, turn 1. Go and press on the throttle, go towards probably the most mythical corner of this old calendar, the corner of Rouge Radion, and
oh, he's out.
Yeah, Radion tend to do that to people if you lost grip in there. It's a mythical, very special corner, but quite tricky to nail.
Didn't take long for it to claim its first victim. We've got Hayden on his flying lap now, coming up through the same corner, very smooth, down the long Camel Straight.
Sam is saying in chat that you have your UI appearing. I don't know the box. That maybe it should be good to remove it.
Yeah.
Hayden. At the opposite of Nicholas, that's a driver we know a bit about. Someone who was previously in Tier 2, who was promoted in Tier 1, then decided to retire himself from Tier 1, means he removed all assists, and his pace suffered a bit from it. So now a Tier 2 reserve and filling the grid from Tier 3. Even without the line, I think he's going to be one of the fast one in there.
He looked pretty solid on that opening out lap until he invalidated coming through the final sector. Trying to find another driver on their out lap, or hot lap, and we're going to find a wreck driver here coming through Pujon now in the Alfa Romeo. I believe another driver making his ZOR debut tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems to be pretty solid so far. We'll see how he takes the final sector.
I'm actually looking up in the Discord trying to figure out the roster.
still awaiting the first official time of this session. I think we'll see it here coming through the final bus stop chicane. Right driver very short shifting early on the throttle. Let's see what he's going to put out. And it's a 143.2. So a solid banker time to start off the session. Temper zoom is invalidated.
Yeah, ram throttle, full throttle is the next one. He just, nope, never mind, he's invalidated too.
Trying to find the next driver up. I think it's going to be Purple or Squirrel. He is also invalidated.
Yeah, I guess it's quite easy to invalidate the lap when you're pushing in the air, whatever it's in Radeon, you get a bit wide or cut the corner, or there's quite a bit of corner you can extend a little bit and get punished for it.
Yeah, I know. In the Tier 1 race on Monday, I only got one clean lap in during qualifying, and it seems that a lot of drivers here are struggling with that track limits as well. I believe Monkey Mafia is the next driver up on his hot lap, coming through the end of Sector 2 now for AlphaTauri.
Yeah, Purple in Sector 2 for whatever it means. It's nobody has set a lap yet.
Monkey Mafia, he had some pretty decent success in Tier 2, so I think he'll be one of those drivers to look out for tonight.
Yeah, he's gonna compete for sure. I think he's got a podium in Tier 2. Solid points for sure. Yeah, he's gonna be at the top.
And he comes second place with a 143.5, so a solid opening lap. Opening lap from him. Full throttle is invalidated again. Looks like Purple Squirrel is on a push lap coming through into Sector 3.
Yeah, Purple also in Tier 2. I think he's in EU tier as well. Purple is kind of my underdog actually. I remember not so long ago when he joined the league, he was struggling, but he's currently getting some solid points in Tier 2.
Yeah, like coming through the final couple corners now. Let's see what kind of time he can put on the board. Short shifting out of the final corner to the line. It's a 43.5, so 200ths of a second off of the Monkey Mafia's time. Comes on Holy Red Eye on the medium tires. Interesting choice through the final couple of corners. See if that works out for him. He goes to the 45.0, puts him P5 on the board.
Yeah, that's a bit strange considering we know rain. It's gonna be rain for the start of the rain, so the race. So compound choice doesn't really matter in this quality. You just want the fastest one.
Yeah, I expect that most drivers will eventually get to their fastest laps of the session on the soft tires, as Rocco is now starting a flyer in the McLaren up towards Eau Rouge now. Still is yet to set a time as we near the midway point of this session.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Spy. When you invalidate the lap, you do have to go the old way. It's not a track like, I don't know, Spain or Austria that you can do for outing pretty easily.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the longest laps on the counter, and you're only going to get 3 runs in no matter what. So everybody's got to make the most of their runs here, especially these drivers who have yet to set a lap.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess it's worth to just put a lap on there, whatever how good it is, just to not be last.
Rocco's looking like he's got a pretty solid lap time so far. Again goes Purple in Sector 2, not sure if that's accurate or not. Down the long, basically flat out straight of Sector 3 in towards Blanchimont. It's a corner that's a little bit trickier than it appears, but...
Oh, it's definitely tricky, especially if we got our rain condition at the beginning of the race. That's going to be tricky for sure.
Yeah, it's something that could catch people out. Let's see what Rocco comes up, and he puts a 143.9, so solid time that puts him in the middle of the field. As Hayden coming into the final corner now. Nearly invalidates on the bus stop chicane. To the line. And Hayden goes first place with a 43.0.
Excellent lap from Hayden. Like we said, we expect him to be at the top. And he just proved it right there.
Temper Zoom next across the line. And he puts in a 44.9. That puts him 6th place on the timing sheets. Gin and Juice has invalidated.
Purple's coming in. It's not purple, never mind.
I think we have the Haas of JJ will be the next driver on a flyer. He's coming through the middle sector now. Another one of those new drivers to this league, but hoping to show what he's got. Runs a little bit wide on Puhan, but manages to keep his lap clean.
Who are you on board with?
JJ in the Haas.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Lifts a little bit there through Stavelot. Now down towards the long run in Sector 3. Getting down to the last 6 minutes of qualifying. Everybody's going to try to get that last push for the top spots on the grid into the final bus stop chicane. Takes a nice line on the first apex and he's abandoning his lap, so must not have been happy.
We have Private Jet right behind him, finishing lap.
And 44.3, so that puts Private Jet 6th place on the grid. Rocco's on the noon lap. I think we have Glock. I believe he's on the push lap through Sector 3 right now.
Yeah, it seems to be ERS activated. It's not. So yeah, probably pushing.
He's on the 3rd lap.
Never mind.
He was on the 3rd lap on those tires, so maybe not the fastest time with the sauce being 3 laps old. Looks like everybody coming back into the pits now to get prepared for their final qualifying run.
Yeah, I also think it's worth mentioning that I saw earlier in the session that the Porchy dude was trying to join the session, so he will not qualify but will race. We haven't heard a lot from that guy, but I remember he raced in Tier 1 at the beginning of the season. So he's gonna be someone who's quick, who's gonna race at the top for sure.
He's actually on track right now, I believe, doing an outlap, so it'll be interesting to see what
Actually, yeah, he's there. Never mind. I'm blind.
I believe they made a change about midway through the session, through the game cycle, where you can start putting in qualifying laps, even if you join late. So worked out well for him.
Well done, Cutmaster.
Looks like USGT Fishing had to abandon that lap time. Was on the intermediate tires, so he had to come back in for a change of tires. Porchy dude through the middle sector now. I believe he's just on his out lap, so we'll ride on board with full throttle in the other Red Bull.
Alright, coming out of Puan.
Campus there is a that right left chicane very tricky to get right. There's a lot of drivers that try to push for the best exit possible, end up losing a lot of time through there, but seems to have hit it fairly well. He's still yet to set a time, but this lap looks to be fairly good, and he still kept it clean, so we'll see where that puts him on the timing sheets. Little walk up into the final corner, but it seems to hit the apex all right. Out of the final turn, making the run up to the line, and that's a 45.0, so that moves him up to 9th place.
Yeah, I'm still a bit surprised that we have that amount of people who yet to set a lap. I guess that's there's a lot of guys that it's their first race in an actual league, so maybe they're working a bit the kinks of it all.
ZGS just had a nice lap time on the mediums into 5th place. Solid
Yeah,
pace. Solid pace.
that's
Yeah.
that's actually good. I'm just worrying. I guess, I mean, no, I was about to say, I guess it could work if we start on dry compound in wet condition, like I said earlier, we did in Australia in Tier 2, but medium should not be the best compound in the rain condition.
Yeah, it's usually like, if it is a situation where where it's wet but not quite wet enough for the wet tires, and it's usually the soft tires are the better option. I've had those starts on the mediums and it is not fun.
Because I remember Australia, and I am having the worst time of my life in these soft. It was not, without exaggerating, it was driving on ice. Like, I'm Canadian, I know what I'm talking about. It was driving on ice.
We've got Purple Squirrel here through the final sector, looking to improve on his time in 5th place. We saw in Holy Red Eye go up to 3rd place in the Williams a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, Purple was almost half seconds better than his fast time.
He goes 2nd place with a 43.1.
That's pretty good.
JJ is invalidated. Wreck Diver's about to start his lap. We have both the AlphaTauris out on track right now. There's ZGS on an in lap as well.
Oh, just Portudude drifting into one, not the best thing to do.
Looks like Gin and Juice is on a flyer coming through the final sector now. Still yet to set a time. I know he's had experience in our EU tier, so should be another driver to look out for tonight.
Gin and Juice finishing up the lap.
Everybody getting their last runs in here. Let's see what Gin and Juice can get as he comes up to the line. Puts in 44.6, and that puts him 10th place on the grid. Hayden improves on his time. That's a 42.8.
That's pretty good.
Extends his advantage at the top of the timing sheets right now.
Glock is coming in and busts up chicane.
He's put quite a few laps on those tires. Does not improve on his time. The private jet is starting the lap as well as the McLaren of Rocco. Trying to find another driver on a flyer. We have JJ, I think, is going on a flyer through the 3rd sector. Running to the very end of qualifying here, so anybody who's not started a lap now will not get one in. Still 3 drivers yet to set the time. It's JJ around the final corner. On the throttle up to the line, he goes 10th place. Wreck Diver takes pole position of 42.5 right at the death.
That was out of nowhere.
That's an impressive lap. Beats Hayden's time by 3 seconds as we have USGT fishing through the final corners now. Still yet to set a time for him. 3rd gear on exit, easy on the throttle. Up to the line of 45.0 or 44.8. That's a 13th place. Jimmy Juice is not on the time.
Yeah, it's Monkey Mafia next, down I think 3/10 from his previous lap.
3/10 could potentially see him up into 3rd place as he heads up towards the final couple of corners. Hits the apex nicely. He's out of VRS, but don't think that will hinder him too much as he comes up to the line. 43.2, that puts him up into 4th place. Glock around the final corner.
Yeah, private jet, but he's up like almost 2 seconds, so he won't improve.
Hayden's coming to the line, but I think he's on an in lap. Rocco's invalidated.
Yeah, I guess it's everything. Everyone is either into the pits or a finish, so this is our qualifying session.
That's going to be it for qualifying. An impressive lap time from Wreck Diver at 42.5. Sees him on pole by over 3/10 compared to Hayden, who will start 2nd. Purple Squirrel 3rd, just in the 143s. That one Portuguese still has yet to set a time, so he'll be starting from the back of the field, as well as Nicholas Reck, who had that crash at the top of Rouge in qualifying. It's quite a spicy grid, it appears, as we have.
Yeah, like we said, there's a bunch of the driver today that we don't know about. It's the first time racing with us. We talk about Aiden, Monkey Mafia, and Purplo that we know about. That's all three of them are in the top 5. But yeah, wreck diver in there with the pole. That's pretty great.
We'll take one last look through the qualifying order. Wreck Diver on pole position. Ace Hayden will start second. Purplo Squirrel third. Monkey Mafia starts fourth. Unholy Red Eye fifth. ZJS sixth on the medium tires, which will be an interesting twist. Rocco will start seventh. Tempura Zoom eighth. Private Jet ninth. JJ rounds out the top 10. Full Throttle 11th. Gin and Juice 12th. USGT Fishing 13th. Glock in 14th. Portude in 15th. And Nicholas Weck rounds out the field in 16th. So we'll have a couple of minutes before we get this first Tier 3 race underway. Bobby, do you have any predictions for tonight's race?
Unfortunately, it's pretty hard to make prediction because, first of all, they're never right. Second of all, like we said, there's so much new faces that we don't know. I guess I'm gonna give it to Wreck Diver. Got pole. Why not?
Yeah, he's definitely the odds-on favorite here. It seems wet conditions always shaking things up. Hayden's going to be another solid choice for tonight. Got a couple of dark horses. Monkey Mafia deep through the field. That one Portuguese, we know he has pace as well. But lots of things can change, especially here at Spa.
Yeah, especially with the condition we're having. It's gonna be very interesting. Super excited to see what's... Actually, I'm excited to see what compound these guys are starting on.
It doesn't look to be that wet, so I think we will see most drivers on the intermediates. Though we might see a couple adventurous drivers onto the full wets, but I don't think we'll have any dries.
Yeah. I know in those conditions, I know we all laugh about Jeff and stupid tips, but in those conditions, I trust Jeff putting me in the best tire available.
Right, there's a reason he's a bot. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to this. So it looks like every single driver in the field will be on the intermediate tires. It's going to make for a very tentative start to the lap, especially going up Blue Rouge for the first time.
Yep. I remember my first race in ZOR in Spa. It was rain condition like that, and I did not make it past Radio.
I remember that race quite well. It was full wet conditions the entire way through. I remember there was a massive wreck, I believe, up Rouge that first turn, and it didn't get any better.
I just remember my car being out of control in Radeon and my racing in there.
Right. This is definitely one of the most difficult tracks to drive in the rain. So these drivers will be out for a difficult challenge in the very first event in this tier. So
yeah,
a lot of them.
And I think it's worth mentioning that this season, with the Tier 3 being created mid-season, it's a mix of reserve from all 3 tiers, so there's absolutely some guys who are new to league racing who gonna struggle, and some driver with a bit more experience that I guess gonna be fine.
The other thing to think about is I believe this is only going to be a 6-race championship, so each of these races is going to count a lot towards the final standings. So every one of these drivers is going to try to make the most of this race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it's only on my screen, but Wreck Diver is lagging pretty hard.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Hopefully that doesn't have any issues throughout the rest of this race, as they come through Sector 3, getting set for the opening race in Tier 3 from Belgium. Oh, Wreck Diver has left the session.
He was lagging pretty hard, I guess. But yeah, that's unfortunate to lost connection like 5 seconds before the race started.
He should have some backup invites to be able to get back into the session, but
yeah, that still take quite a time to get reconnected.
Of course, but that's going to be quite a break for Hayden, who will have the front row all to himself here for the start of Tier 3. The driver's pulling up to the grid now, trying to get their tires in that perfect operating window. And he's back in the session as Nicholas Beck is driving up to the back of the grid now. The green flag is waving, and we're about set to go. Lights are going on. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights here from Belgium. And they're off down towards turn 1, a very short run. Looks like a good start from Hayden against the AI of Wreck Diver. Looks like the Ferrari Purple Squirrel being a bit tentative. Monkey Mafia around the outside. Gonna have to hold off a little bit. The field fans out of it behind, but everyone seems to have made it through okay. Hayden has a quite big gap going up towards Eau Rouge for the first time. Purple Squirrel has taken over second and Monkey Mafia third. One of the Renaults a bit wide through Radion, but everyone seems to be okay.
Yeah, I was running to the back. Everyone seems to have their wing intact. A couple driver went wide in turn 1 and in Radion, but so far so good.
Side by side into Lake Combe, we got one of the McLarens off. I think that is Rocco. And everybody literally 2 by 2 into the turn 7 chicane there. Insane racing. And now we've got Gin and Juice trying to go down the inside into the understeery right-hander. Not sure if he's going to be able to get that moved in. He's going to have to back out and yield the position. Wreck Diver has dropped all the way to 11th. Still trying to maintain control as Gin and Juice is still on the back of Rocco. Through Puha now, one of the most challenging conditions, or corners in this conditions. And Gin and Juice has a run.
Aiden having a lot of fun in the rain, already having a 3-second gap to second place.
It looks to be quite good in these conditions now. We have Tempura Zoom in 5th place right now, or 4th place right now on the back of Monkey Mafia and Purple Squirrel. With Unholy Red Eye is right there as well. Tight racing all the way through this field. Sector 3 is very tough, especially in the rain. So we'll have to see if they can find their way through. Very squirrely, and he's not going to be able to hold on to it. Unholy Red Eye is into the wall. Hopefully everybody's going to be able to make it through that okay. He's picked up damage in that incident. Luckily he'll be able to get it. Should be able to get into the pit lane. Oh, he's got the Haas.
There was the ass of Niklas that tried to move into the inside of him. That's at the outside of him, so he was in his way to get into the pits. That was very unfortunate.
He did make it in as well. I think the Renault of Private Jet is in the pit lane as well. The timing screens are a little bit messed up, but we have the McLaren.
Yeah. I was about to say that I was going to talk about position change, but the intervals are screwed, so it's gonna wait.
We've got Rocco looking at the inside of Tempura Zoom into the chicane. He's gonna go for it. Tempura gives him the space through the left-hander. Now side by side, I think Tempura is just about gonna hang on to that position. Excellent driving from those guys. Now Gin and Juice to the inside of that one. Porchito down into the same place he tried to pass McLaren 1 lap ago. He's gonna stick his nose in there, just enough space, but he can't get the move done. Excellent racing already between these drivers, and we're only on the 3rd lap of the race, or the 2nd lap even, I believe.
Yep, and we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It's Private Jet who lost it in Radion.
Yeah, that looks to be, it's probably going to be a common sight throughout this race. Seems to have gotten it back going okay. Tempura Zoom a little bit squirrely again, as well as Rocco and the other McLaren. That one, Portugal has made it up to 7th position already. So, 6th position even, so an impressive start from him. We'll have to see if he can keep that up. Oh, and there goes Rocco.
I don't know what happened there. I just saw him sideways.
I think he lost it coming out of Stavro there. It's very easy to lose control. I think he managed
especially in those conditions.
I think he's managed to keep it off the wall though. I can't see his wing.
No, Rocco has his right end plate missing.
Yeah, he's going to have to come in for that. Full Throttle is going to make his way through, as well as USGT Fishing. That one Fortitude to the inside of Tempura Zoom. He's going to send it into Lasource. A little bit of a dive bomb, but he's got the position. Tempura Zoom going to look to fight it back down the straight.
Yeah, Fortitude coming with that pace. I mentioned it, that he was a Tier 1 driver early in the season that actually stepped down to be a reserve and now get the Tier 3 seat temporarily to fill the grid. So yeah, already 11 spot since he started the back of the grid.
Oh, contact.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that. Not sure.
Not sure what happened there. Tempura went for a move around the outside, and I think he got it done. It looked to be contact. Not sure if it was just lag or what happened there, but Tempura has the position regardless. And here comes Glock around the outside of Full Throttle. Contact in the leg home, and Full Throttle manages to maintain control, but he's definitely missing his end plate. Unfortunate there. Monkey Mafia is still on the back of Porpolo Squirrel for second place. A few seconds behind Hayden, who's checked out.
Yeah, Hayden is racing on his own right now, having the time of his life.
It's still a long way to go here, especially with conditions switching over to dry, probably within the next few laps. So still a lot can happen for the rest of this field. Fortitude is looking to come back at Tempura Zoom, but Tempura gets a much better accident, shouldn't be able to hold on to the position. Oh, JJ a little bit squirrely, and there goes ZGS around him. For 7th place.
Oh, we have Rocco.
Oh, that's
Purple. What happened there?
Purple Squirrel is out. We have a virtual safety car. He seems to have collected Monkey Mafia.
Yeah, that's an odd place to lose it, I guess. Blanchimont, maybe they try a move or something, and that ended well.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go side by side through there, and it's very difficult to get that right. Purple Squirrel getting the worst of that as he is retired from the session. Monkey Mafia having a little bit of damage. He's going to have to come into the pits, and we have our first virtual safety car of the day. JJ picked up a 5-second penalty. He had a little bit of a collision with ZGS going into turn 1 under safety car, but that has given Hayden an even larger lead right now in front of the field.
Yeah, before that, the VFC, I was about to mention that we have Rocco on soft tires and he's struggling a lot. So
that is interesting. Looks like it has...
I think the call was a bit too early. And we have an early red eye with a drive-through for speeding under the VSC.
That's unfortunate for him, but yeah, interesting to note it has stopped raining, but track is very wet. I agree. I do think it's a little bit too early for soft tires. And then Portuguese, along with all that, managed to get a better jump and up into 2nd place.
There we go, Puff in chat laughing about my French accent because I say Blanchimont really well. It's one of the few tracks that my French accents come in pretty handy.
Oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I can say La Source and Ravillon and Eau Rouge pretty well.
But I believe those are all French, so...
Yeah, it's Belgium, so yeah, Belgium is... I'm gonna talk through my app, maybe half of it French and another half of it is Flemish, so yeah. The base of these corners are certainly French for sure.
So we have interesting conditions now. It still appears to be cars for intermediate tires. JJ is on the back of ZGS.
Yeah, I was on the riding with Tempura. We went super deep in the back of Portuguese, but messed up his exit of the chicane with Gin and Juice. Took the advantage to make a move.
Yeah, we see Gin and Juice up in the 3rd place. Tempura is falling back to 4th. We've got Private Jet on the soft tires as well. So another driver trying to commit to that strategy. We'll see how it goes up the Rouge. A little bit tentative, and you can see the grip is just not there. Looked like there was a driver who was way off coming out of the corner, but it seems to be okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was.
We
have another VSC. Nicholas is retired.
Oh, and Glock is around as well. That's at the top of Radion, and once again.
Radion takes another victim.
Oh, Red Eye was trying to go through the corner, trying to avoid the collision, and nearly smashed into the parked car of Nicholas. There's another driver who picked up a drive-through under...
Yep, USGT is the one who got the drive-through. Ram Full Throttle got one as well.
Lots of drive-throughs coming up here a little bit early on as well. Perhaps the rain not doing these drivers any favor, trying to keep those deltas in check.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard just to race normally in these conditions, so when you have to look at the top right of your screen, it's just adding a whole other difficulty to it.
So that one Portuguese has made his way up into second place, and he is slowly but surely closing the gap on Hayden, it seems. Right now holding steady about 12 seconds, but he could be one to watch here towards the second half of this Grand Prix.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm starting to feel that the track is drying.
I think it's getting there. You can still see from Monkey Mafia's on board as he closes up on the block. There's quite a lot of spray kicking up.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a lot of spray. I was riding with someone in Radion and through the Camel Straight, and it's looked pretty dry.
We've got a few drivers in now for dry tires. ZGS is going on to the mediums, and it is... Oh, Portuguese is off at the top of Radion. And he has spun around, kept his wing clean, but he's lost a lot of time.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the intermediate are not working anymore.
We have quite a few drivers on the soft tires now, but if you look at Rocco compared to USGT, he's actually keeping about... He's losing a little bit of time, but not as much as you'd expect. So, and it looks like we are seeing the track start to change over. Although ZGS going very slowly down the back straight on the mediums. So the strategy all over the place here. I mean, another thing to consider is we are in the window now where one set of tires can get you to the end of the race. Oh, Wreck Diver very squirrely on the mediums. Another yellow flag. That's Private Jet, who is out of the session now.
Yep, lost it in the second sector. Actually, probably a tricky corner if the compound aren't right.
Yeah, that one curve can really get you if you don't take the corner exactly right. And DRS has been enabled now, so I think it's time for all these drivers to hop off the inters. Ooh,
yeah, Aiden is gone into the pit early there with a pretty substantial gap to the Gin and Juice in second place.
It's gone onto the hard tires though, which is interesting. I think we're about time to get onto the mediums and go to the end, but Gin and Juice has stayed out interestingly.
Oh, bit of a moment coming out of the pit, almost putting in the wall, had to lift off to save his car, and Gin and Juice had to move on it, but still have to get rid of these intermediate. But yeah, Aiden had to lift off pretty heavily into where they are, and we have a safety car.
Oh, that's going to change things now as Monkey Mafia.
Monkey Mafia is gone. What the hell happened?
Looks to be at the exit of Blanchimont. He was on those intermediates, so perhaps sliding around a bit on the now dry track. And this is going to shake things up. He's parked right in the middle of the road.
Oh, and that's a messed up car.
So now we should see everybody should come into the pits now if you're still on the inters. And even we have JJ out on the fresh mediums. I think Wreck Diver's out on the mediums. ZGS is coming back into the pits.
Yeah, maybe got damaged or something. But yeah, everyone should get rid of these enter. The track is pretty dry, and I'm thinking that's probably what happened to Monkey Mafia, pushing it into Blanchimont and with these enter tires.
Yeah, this is going to change up the strategy for sure. You were definitely in the window where you can probably take the mediums to the end. ZGS has gone onto the softs. I don't think he had another set of mediums, and he needed to get that wing changed. So he's probably going to have to be committing to another stop in this race.
Okay, so I guess Gin and Juice and Tempura are coming in to get rid of these inters, so it's gonna let us Aiden at the top on the R's with Porchy Dude, who's been pretty quick with a better compound behind him.
And that's going to put Wreck Diver in third as well on the fresh mediums after setting that pole time in qualifying. So we know he has pace. Gin and Juice is indeed into the pits.
I mean, it's pretty understandable to...
Hayden is in as well.
Guessing to go to the medium?
And he's got nothing to lose here, and he's got a 20-second gap to Porchy Dude behind, and he's got both Gin and Juice and Tempura coming in as well, and he has gone to the mediums.
Yeah, he got a gap to Porchy, but by doing so, he lost the place to Gin and Juice.
I mean, I think it might be worth it to put on those mediums.
Yeah, absolutely, and if it's go anything like the first 6 or so lap, he will have the pace to make a move on Gin and Juice with those better tires.
We've kind of a split decision right now. We've got Gin and Juice, Tempura, and Unholy Red Eye on the hards, and then quite a few other drivers on the mediums. So, but I'm pretty sure you can take the mediums to the end from here. So it should be seamless.
Yeah. At lap 8, I think you should be good.
We just have ZGS, USGT Fishing, and then Full Throttle on Glock, who is still yet to make another stop. Glock is in onto the softs.
Yeah, but Full Throttle just went past the pit lane and did not come in.
Now that is interesting. Not sure what he's going for there. He's still on the intermediates.
Okay.
I think he's in a position where he should be able to get back in and then back out and caught up to the safety car, because we still have Rocco, who's quite a ways behind the safety car at the moment. But
yeah, and he still had a drive-through. There was actually 3 drivers having a drive-through from the previous VSC. Ram Full Throttle, Unholy Red Eye, and USGT. All 3 of them have still a drive-through to do.
Yeah, that's gonna change. That's gonna change up how those drivers attack the second half of the race. But interestingly, I want to know we have Glock who's put on the soft tires, and I don't think it's quite in the window to take those to the end. So he's probably going to be committing to making another stop in this race, unless he's going to try to stretch it, which would be a phenomenal feat to take those to the end.
That would be a phenomenal feat. I know for sure I'm not able to do that. I will be sliding in every corner, like way before the end.
Especially at a place like this. Probably going to be committing to a 2-stop there. Rocco picks up 3 seconds on the safety car, so not ideal for his race, but should be seeing...
that's unfortunate. I guess he's trying to push to get back to the field, but yeah, under a safety car you don't need to get corner cut penalties.
Yep, we should. I think we're going to have at least one more lap on safety. Picks up 10 seconds for...
Yeah, I guess he cut the bus chicken pretty bad, still with his enter, not coming in.
ZGS is in. I think he's going to put the mediums back on and take those to the end. And he's going for another set of softs, so maybe he thinks he can take the softs to the end from this lap instead. Interesting choice there. Making 2 stops under the same safety car. USGT Fishing, he's put on the mediums, so he will be going to the end on those. Coming out in 11th place, so he's in a decent spot. Still got that drive through though. Full Throttle still on the intermediates. As long as you can see him sliding quite a bit.
Yeah, we're in direct condition for sure.
Biggest saying in the chat that all these drivers have to fire their strategists. So, I mean, it must be Ferrari's providing the strategist for this race.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame it on me. I praised Jeff earlier in the race.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame it on me, guys.
That's okay. We still have over half the race to go here. Gin and Juice is out in front on the hards. Hayden in second. He's looking very pacey so far, and he's on the mediums. So I think it'll be interesting to see if he can get the jump on Gin and Juice on the restart. Those hards are going to be kind of tough to warm up.
Yeah, we should restart here. Rocco is reaching the back of the field. It should be the restart.
Okay, so we're going to get the sector 3 line in just a second, so we'll find out. And
there we go.
The safety car is in this lap, so hopefully everybody keeps it clean. It's a very slow couple of final corners, so very easy to misjudge the speed of the safety cars, especially with the rev limiter the game will put on you sometimes. Sun's coming out here in Belgium as we're getting set for the restart. Still 13 laps to go in this race. 12 drivers still running, 4 drivers.
Gin and Juice still pretty close to the safety car. I'm not sure if I like it.
He's coming around the final corner now.
Is he gonna be throttled? No, it seems good.
Clean restart. Full throttle is finally into the pits. Not sure if... Oh, and Red Eye's been disqualified. That's interesting.
Oh, I guess the VSC was 3 laps before the safety car got out, so he had to come in right in there.
So the safety car shouldn't make a difference there, but Hayden is going for a move on the lead. Tempur Zoom has crashed at the top of Radion. Hayden is side by side into turn 7, and he's going to get the move done. So a lot happening here on the restart.
Yeah, what I was saying about the drive-through is if the safety car, the VSC went 3 laps before the safety car came out, he has 3 laps to do it. So the last lap available was when the safety car came out. So we only have 1 lap to get in for his drive-through.
Yeah, that's probably what happened there. But also Hayden is taking the lead, and Tempura has a DNF, and now Portudude is going to go for second place. Sends it into the campus chicane. Gin and Juice fighting it back around the outside, but he's going to have to yield that position.
Yeah, those medium compound are probably way better than they are at this point.
Yeah, in a couple of laps when those hards are warmed up and in rhythm, we should see them fire up a little bit more, but right now, medium's definitely the way to go, as Hayden has opened up a 2-second gap to Portudude behind.
Yeah, and we have ZJS on the soft coming in the back of JJ, probably going to make a move in Radion or the Camel Straight.
A little bit tight to the final chicane. JJ gets a much better run. And now Glock is side by side. Going to look for the move into La Source. Around the outside, it's going to be tough to make it stick, and he's going to have to back out. Rocco is joining this party as well, as DC Fishing has put on the mediums, I believe, as they come up the hill towards the Camel Straight.
I guess you want to make the move pretty quick on these soft tires. You don't want to be stuck behind JJ in the medium.
Exactly, and that's what he's going to do here to the inside, in towards Lakeholm, and ZGS is going to move up into 5th position. Portudude picks up 3 seconds, and that is critical, looking at the gap to the lead right now. Still a long way to go.
Those are going to be very important 3 seconds at the end.
Rocco around the outside into Bruxelles, I think is the name, but he has to back out as Glock takes a very nice defensive line through the corner. So some nice battling through the midfield. Is Rocco going to go to the inside? He thinks better of it. That's a very tough place to make it side by side.
Yeah, I don't recommend going side by side in there. It will only end poorly for one or both driver.
And Hayden has picked up 3 seconds as well, so now the first 2 drivers on level playing field. We'll see if Glock can make his way past JJ here down in Sector 3. There's wreck divers around Gin and Juice now, through Blanchimont. Very nice move around the outside. Great driving from those drivers, and wreck divers up into the top 3.
Glock trying the move. No, I think he lifted off in Blanchimont.
These two drivers are going at it right now. Glock is on the sauce. He's going to want to get through and run down ZGS if he can, who's opened up 3 seconds over JJ already.
Yeah, now the DRS is going to be enabled, so I guess these moves going to be a bit easier from now.
And Glock has made his way past JJ through La Source, so JJ's going to have that DRS going down the straight again. He's going to have to see if he can make it work and take back 6th place. Rocco is just behind as well. So a 3-way battle for 6th place now. There goes JJ to the inside. Rocco's going to follow him through, so Glock might lose out on 2 positions here, and looks like he will. So struggling on those soft tires, actually. Not what we want to see. ZGS has caught up to Gin and Juice already, so those hard tires not working out well for Gin and Juice. ZGS is right there.
Yeah, I guess if those hard tires are going to be fast, if I remember Monday race, it's going to be pretty much in the last couple laps of the race.
Right, like towards the end, he'll have the pace, but he's losing quite a bit of time to the top 3.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, probably the medium will still be good enough to not lose that much pace.
ZGS did find his way around, and Rocco is now on the back of JJ through Sector 3. Oh, a little bit of contact. Carbon Fiber went flying there, and I think Rocco has lost his end plate. Yes, he has.
That's very unfortunate. Because I think Spa is one of those tracks you want a clean wing. You don't want to race with a yellowish wing.
He didn't go into the pits there, and Glock got very squirrely on the exit of the corner. JJ is going to try to take this position, which should be an easy pass through Eau Rouge. Rocco's going to have to lift to make it through there. JJ's going to have to be careful that he doesn't run into the back of him going up the hill. Seems to be okay. Let's see if he can make the move down in towards Lake Home. He's got a good
DRS and ERS.
Yep, that should be an easy move.
Yeah, absolutely. The speed difference was. Yo, ZGS just retired in
Lake Home. Safety car.
Another safety car. Is it time for softs?
I think. Oh, this makes things interesting because it's definitely in the window, and now you got to decide: do you want the track position or do you want the fresh tires?
Oh,
this is going to change things up because the top 3 are all there on each other, and if you
and I was monitoring the gap between Aiden and Portugal, and it wasn't. I think Portugal maybe closed the gap a little bit, but not that much. So the compound-show is going to be super important there.
And here's the thing: if you pit right now, you could lose you could drop all the way down to about 7th if there were drivers, if everybody stays out. But
Hayden's coming in. Portugal is coming in.
Now I think we'll see everybody go in. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stick with the driver in front.
Yeah, because you don't want him to come in and then you stay out and be the only one who stays out. So it looks like JJ is going to stay out though. So there we have our first one split. Hayden is going to get out ahead of Portugal, but he will still be in 2nd place overall and on the fresh soft tires. JJ has actually come out in 2nd place, so Hayden has beat him out. And that changes things.
Oh! JJ ran into the back of Hayden, not expecting the safety car to be there.
And Hayden picked up a 5-second penalty for that. Now I'm sure that could be removed if he decides to report that.
Yeah.
But for now,
we need to guess that there won't be another safety car till the end. We need that penalty to not be served.
Right. I think he should be good. We should be good to take those softs to the end. So I'm not sure if that will be a problem. But we have Gin and Juice onto the mediums. Glock is onto the mediums in 6th. Rock onto another set of softs. Full Throttle stayed out. He's on his medium tires. Still fairly fresh. USGT Fishing has put on fresh softs as well. So JJ is one of the only 2 drivers that stayed out, but I believe, yeah, he's lost his right front end plate in that collision as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty big crash. He's actually lucky to not lose the wheel with it.
Right, and now this is going to be interesting because unless he comes in on this lap, he could act as a buffer right now between Hayden and Porchy Dude, especially with that end plate damage.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's coming in.
I think we will see him in. I mean, we could see the safety car in this lap actually, which could still cause some havoc between those top few drivers. Another
collision. Yep, at the back.
Trying to look at everybody's front wings.
The thing is, those contacts are now stewardable under safety car, and we have Porchy Dude who lost connection, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's gonna make things even better for Hayden. He is gonna have that 1 car gap as it stands. The safety car is not in this lap, interestingly. So we'll have a restart with 7 laps to go. Hayden will be out in front. JJ's
coming in. So the gap between the cushion that Hayden had with Porchy Dude is now gone.
Right, the good thing for Porchy Dude is if he can manage to get back in, and he has gotten back in, so he should be back in time for the safety car restart. I believe the safety car was very close to being able to come in this lap, but I think it will be able to get back control before the restart, which is going to make things spicy between these top 3, all on soft tires. Wreck Diver has kept it penalty free.
Yeah, and with only 8 lap to go, maybe 7 when the safety car will come in. That 3-second buffer on penalty might be what he needs to win the race.
Hayden does have the 8 seconds, but the 5 seconds was on the safety cars. But for now, we'll keep it at 8 seconds.
Okay. Sure. Let's.
I mean, that's a tough call to make.
I'm not a tier 3 steward, so yeah, let's not.
I don't want to speculate.
Take for granted that it's going to be removed.
Porchy Dude has left the session again, so he's going to be ghosted for now, which will only play into Wreck Diver's chances. Gin and Juice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just behind on the fresh mediums with 3 seconds of penalties. He's still got a shot at this as well because those mediums will be fresh the whole way to the end of this race. Still a lot to be decided here in these last few laps.
Yeah, a late safety car is always mixing it all up, bringing penalties back into the race, bringing tire strategy into it.
We should see the safety car in this lap. Full Throttle is the only driver who is not on fresh tires at the moment, but even his mediums aren't too far gone, so should see basically a 7-lap dash to the finish between the 9 drivers remaining in this field. I think we'll see the safety car in this lap, and yes, we will. So Hayden will control the restart. I'm not sure what's going on with Porchy Dude's AI.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
I've never seen that before. It looks like he's gonna have to give. Yeah. I guess it looks like he's back in the session now.
Yeah, I'm just having flashback to the last broadcast I did with, was it Larkin who glitched the safety car and won by a lap on everyone?
Looks like Hayden was told to give that position back. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they might. Okay, Stuart, have fun with this.
So it seems to be a bit of glitching here, but regardless, coming through the final couple of corners. Looks like Hayden a little bit of a wobble on the restart, but everything is clear to go. Porchy Dude, regardless, is out in front. With Wreck Diver just behind Hayden going through the source.
Yeah, I guess having only 9 driver remaining remove some chance of chaos happening.
Rocco made his way past Glock on that restart, and JJ has gotten past Fishing as well. What you do is about a second, almost a second ahead of Hayden at the moment. Hayden closing the gap down the back straight. Wreck Diver is right there as well, just trying to stick in that DRS. We could see a DRS train start to form here between the top four, even as Gin and Juice is still hanging on. Hayden showing a lot of pace right now.
Yeah, Hayden pretty much just need to make
like
the move right there. Okay.
I think it looked like Portuguese gave him the line, probably trying to give that position back. And now Wreck Diver's going to look to make the move.
I was about to say just need to stick in there until DRS become enabled, but the move was done. I guess the same apply for Wreck Diver. We just need to stick 3 seconds behind Porchi to get the win.
Yeah, he's in a good spot right now. JJ was very squarely through Puhan, but he's made his way up to 7th. Full Throttle dropped back down to 9th. And Full Throttle struggling there, another yellow flag, but Wreck Diver, he's got a good run through Sector 3, and he might be on for a move against Portuguese here. Looking to the outside, there's not enough room. So he's going to have to wait for a little bit, but important to note, Hayden has cleared DRS, setting the fastest lap of the race.
That's really big that he's cleared DRS.
Still 6 laps to go though, so a lot can happen, and the Portuguese only 1/10 out of it.
And I guess technically do have the 5-second penalties advantage.
Oh yeah, still a lot to be decided now. About 1 second separating the top 4. Rocco, he's got a lot of pace on those fresh softs, and he's catching up to the back of Gin and Juice, looking for 4th position. And he's within half a second here through the middle sector. But Portuguese closing the gap again, down within 8 tenths now.
Yeah, and Wreck Diver is not in the DRS range anymore.
So right now he's about 2.2 seconds behind Hayden at the moment. Hayden does have the 3-second and the 5-second. Rocco is going to get a great run here into campus. And we go around the outside of Gin and Juice, and Rocco will take 4th position away. And now he's only 2 seconds behind Wreck Diver. So don't count Rocco out of this yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rocco's in there, but he's gonna get slapped pretty hard with the 14-second worth of penalty.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was on 14 seconds, so that's gonna probably move him down quite a few positions. Wreck Diver's back within 1 second here. I think this will be the lap DRS is enabled.
Yep.
Hayden putting in another purple lap time, and it's giving him a 1.3 second advantage. Wreck Diver's just hanging out 9 tenths behind Portuguese. The detection point just before Rouge, if he can stick within that 1 second gap. I'm not sure if he got it there. We'll have to see if the wing opens.
Yep, he does.
Looks like he does not have DRS.
You're talking about Portugal?
Wreck Diver.
On my screen, okay. In the UI, the DRS button was lit up.
Interesting. But yeah, anyway, regardless, Wreck Diver has now closed the gap to half a second down the straight. Gin and Juice sticking with Rocco, but those guys are slowly losing touch with the top 3. They seem to be having a duel of their own here in the last 5 laps. Full Throttle has come in for another fresh set of soft tires, so it could be a contender for the fastest lap of the race. JJ starting to hunt down Glock as well on his fresh softs in the midfield. Still quite a lot of action here towards the end of this race. Glock a little bit deep.
Yeah, it's surprising the amount of action we have for only having 9 drivers.
Wreck Diver is right on Portuguese. He might have an opportunity in the bus stop. Portuguese is already flashing the red light. Low on the ERS. Wreck Diver around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? He's going to have the inside for the second part of the chicane, but what a run by Portudude around the outside. Hang on to second at the moment. Wreck Diver is still right there. And
it's going to be take two in the Camel Straight. Both driver having used most of their ERS.
That's exactly what Hayden wants to see. He's watching these two fight it out, and he's just driving away out there in first place.
Yeah, you need to pull up at least another second and a half to be clear of Wreck Diver on penalties. If his 5-second penalty on the safety car would get removed.
Yeah, so he's going to be pushing. He's got those fresh shocks, so he can basically be putting in qualifying laps here. Wreck Diver just sticking with Portudude through the middle sector. Biding his time. You don't want to throw it into a corner and end both your races.
No, that would be pretty sad.
But they've kept it clean so far. 4 laps to go now. Wreck Diver is still hanging in. He's currently 2.3 seconds off of the lead in the net race lead as it stands. It could be an interesting strategy for him if he just wants to sit. He knows he's got the 3 seconds on Portudude, so he could just sit in that DRS and just gain a couple tenths each time.
Yeah, it could work if Aiden doesn't gain any time on Portudude.
Oh, full throttle out of the session. Looks to be at, and we have a VSC. That's going to negate the DRS from Wreck Diver, as it looks like full throttle was in that tricky section of the track just before the no-name corner. But our second or third virtual safety car of the day, I believe, with just 3 laps to go.
Yeah. True safety car. At least 2 VSC, 2 or 3, I don't remember.
Quite a few of those so far today. JJ has come into the pits. Probably a fresh set of soft tires. But another thing now for the top 3 is you don't want to pick up a drive-through now.
Yeah. I guess Aiden is somehow gaining time under VSC by having a lower delta than anyone else, because never mind, they just get back the time, because I was watching Delta, the leader, and both Portudude and Wreck Diver were 3 seconds away from Aiden.
Yeah, it looked like he kept it close right to the end, but then was forced to break. And it was that Rocco who's had a spin, that no-name. Looks like he's kept the nose clean, but he's going to lose a lot of time, and he's still sliding around just off the wall. He's still kept his wing, but he's dropped all the way down to 7th place now.
Yeah, and those tires are melted.
It's unfortunate for him. He was having a good race, but we're going to go back to the top 3 now. The closest battle on track.
Yeah, Wreck Diver now 2.5 seconds behind Aiden.
He's still keeping it in that window.
Half a second is in.
Going to be sweating it out right now. It's going to be trying to push. But he's still keeping it in that DRS, which is going to be crucial. With just 2 laps. He's through the detection point, so he's going to get it down this Camel Straight. Looks to be pretty low on ERS. Portudude is completely out of his battery charge. Wreck Diver's going to just suck up to the back here. But not going to be close enough. These two keeping about 1.5 seconds behind Hayden, so that gap remaining pretty consistent as it has for the last few laps.
Yeah, and Diver now 2 seconds flat behind, so he gained half a second in the last lap, so I guess the gap is a bit more comfortable.
That's quite a long DRS zone down the Camel Straight, and that's something that Hayden doesn't have the luxury of right now. And Rocco is retired in the pit lane, so down to 7 runners from the 16 that started this Tier 3 race. Wreck Diver the gap gaining up to just over a second now, entering Sector 3. He's using that overtake button, trying to squeeze every last life out of that Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, he's back at 2.5 seconds from Aiden. He cannot get further.
It's going to be tight with all of these guys entering now the final lap of the Grand Prix. Portudude and Wreck Diver closing up a little bit to the back of Hayden, down to 1.3 seconds as they go through La Source for the final time. I don't think Wreck Diver's going to get DRS down the back straight, so this is going to change things up a little bit.
Absolutely. Does not have DRS. Pretty sure we'll have luck to have it.
Yeah, right now that gap, he's at 2.6 seconds. JJ sets the fastest lap of the race, so that will get him an extra World Championship point.
And in a 6 race championship, those extra points really matters.
Exactly. So Wreck Diver is still hanging within the gap. Can he keep within the 3 seconds? We know he's going to get Portudude automatically, or as long as he can keep it on the road. Hayden has driven a masterclass this race.
Yeah, pretty much led from beginning to end.
Running in towards the final sector for the last time here at Spa. Hayden pushing overtake, trying to gate every 10th, and he's now got the gap up to about right at 3 seconds.
Yep, you're gonna need to push the ERS to the single last percentage he has.
Both the top two are completely out. Wreck Diver is not using the overtake. Jay has had an incident through Puhan, but here comes Hayden through the final corner. Wreck Diver's closing Hayden a little bit oversteer, pushing every last 10th. Hayden's going to cross the line first.
A bit of a bubble from
Wreck Diver's in the wall. Was he? Oh no,
he finished. He just lost it. He lost the rear. Finished first on track, but I guess with Aiden, if he gets his 5-second remove, we'll get the win.
What a race! What a finish to this race. Entertaining from start to finish. Wreck Diver, the unofficial winner of this race by 1.2 seconds. Hayden was able to maintain the gap to Portudude, so Portudude will take home 3rd place.
That was a crazy Tier 3 debut right now.
From start to finish, Portudude had quite a run from him, starting from the back of the grid, and we've got tons more of this action to come. This is going to be insane.
Yeah, absolutely. If every race till the end of the season are like this one, championship's going to be insane.
Yeah, those top 3 really displaying expert driving at the moment. Getting that podium celebration, and we're gonna take a look at the final classification here. Wreck Diver crosses the line to finish first. Hayden will finish second. Portudude third. Gin and Juice fourth. USGT comes home in fifth after a solid under the radar day from him. Glock finishes the race in sixth. JJ finishes seventh with the fastest lap of the race. Rocco finishes eighth, although he DNF'd from this race. Full Throttle 9th. ZGS 10th. Tempura 11th, Unholy Red Eye 12th, Monkey Mafia finishes 13th, Private Jet 14th, Nicholas Black 15th, and Purple Squirrel rounds out the field in 16th. So,
alright.
After that race, we get the top 3 in for interviews, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I'm not sure I've got any of them on my friend list, but we'll figure it out.
Fantastic race from start to finish there.
Aiden, Wreck Driver.
Is that?
I was trying to figure out a simplest way to add them.
Hayden, the first one into the party. We'll hold on just a second. Wait for the other two podium finishers.
That's the only one I've yet to invite to find on PSN. I guess I need to figure out how to spell their name. It's probably that guy. That should be it. And Rick Diver. What's his PSN like?
Wreck Diver, I think 007.
Yeah.
All right.
Rick underscore Diver. 007.
All right. While we wait for Wreck Diver to join the lobby, we're going to get started here with the third place finisher by classification, which was Portuguese, I believe. So, Portuguese, fantastic
Just
race.
before you start, Fuzz is doing his admin stuff to reminding us to say to everyone that if we want to be able to hear them in the interview, to set up their stream sharing settings. Their audio sharing setting.
All right, so then after we'll get that taken care of, Portuguese, fantastic drive from you, starting from the back of the grid, ending up near the front. What was your mindset going at the start of the race, knowing you were coming from the back of the grid?
Thank you. And coming back from the grid, I was just trying to stay out of trouble pretty much, because I saw people going off track and then spinning out as well. And then getting that safety car right after I pitted for mediums helped me a lot, because I didn't lose any track position at all. So that was good. But some of the driving was questionable, because I get pushed off by a McLaren, almost wrecking by getting a warning. So I'll see if I can get the penalty removed. But yeah, it was a good race. I'm not sure what happened that coming to the last safety car restart, because whenever I joined, my AI just sped up in front of the Renault, and whenever I joined back, it said I got on an illegal overtake. So I had to give the place back to him. But whenever I did, I could tell that it said that he overtook me illegally, because he was trying to slow down. So what I decided to do is let him back by without losing a spot myself on track. So that's why I went wide in one of the corners in sector 2 to let him by.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting, trying to figure out everything that was going on. But that second safety car, what was your strategy going into that? Was it always that you were going to come in, or was it kind of wait to see what everybody in front of you did?
Whenever the safety car came out, I was like, okay, this is my chance to pit for softs, because everybody else behind me was a good minute, or well, not minute, but a good ways behind me. So I knew I had something to do. So, and I knew people were gonna pit anyways, because it was with less than 7 laps to go, I think it was, that the safety car came out. So I was like, okay, this is a no-brainer, pit for softs, and then just go to the end.
Yeah, so fantastic race from you, Portuguese. Congratulations once again. We'll move on to VAR Hayden. Fantastic race from you. Good pace in qualifying, dominating the race. How did you feel it went for you?
Um, it was alright until obviously that last safety car. That was just ridiculous, to be honest. And then that glitch with, like, Thingy said, yeah, that was weird. Like, he glitched through me and jumped so far ahead. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Good trying to stay ahead of Wreck, like 3 seconds. But
First race coming off in the league without assists. Was it that hard?
it wasn't, 'cause I've been doing Belgian practice, so I mean, I've been learning the track, but it was definitely. I kind of corner cut a little bit because I thought like I broke a bit too early and cut the corner. But yeah.
Yeah, so another fantastic race from you, Hayden. Congratulations again. And now moving on to the race winner, Wreck Diver. So you showed very good pace in qualifying, taking pole position by almost 3/10, and then a well-driven race, kept it clean the entire way through. You had that battle against the Delta going into the final few laps. What was going through your mind there, trying to keep that Delta within the time?
I was just trying, I don't really know, honestly. I was just trying to stay under the Delta, make sure staying behind the pack nice and even, and tried to keep it clean throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, so
yeah, first race in the league. Both other driver, we already saw them racing here. Good qualifying. You had issues in the first couple laps with connection?
Yeah. When we were doing the formation lap, I got disconnected and then I rejoined. And but when the race was about to start, but then it was not letting me take control of my car, so I had to leave, close the app and rejoin. And then I was able to take control by joining the invite again. And I joined on lap 3 or 4.
That was I was about to go how far into the race that you managed to gain control. Lap 4, I guess you were pretty down the order at that point.
Yeah, I was 10th. I came back in 10th, and then luckily there was the safety car, so I was able to get back in the pack and try and gain my positions back, which I did. But I don't know if I'll end up winning the race because penalties might get removed. But yeah. I thought I did okay.
Impressive drive nonetheless from you, Wreck Diver. So I think that we're going to wrap things up here. Great race from everybody here in the Tier 3 debut in ZOR. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night for Tier 2 from Belgium. You can watch Bobby Tavash put on a show for everybody. And then
I'll try to not bin it like before
Sorry,
the
Bobby.
midpoint.
I'll be racing you as well.
Yep, and then we have the EU tier on Sunday from Belgium, and then on to Singapore for next week. This has been ZOR Tier 3. We will see you all next time.